Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for making tonight and be here for another presentation of this program, Family Academy. Today we have our presenter, Aserian Leal, our community partner. She came from the Federation with the Kids with Special Needs. And the topic for tonight is building bridges. Parents as partners in education. You are parents and a very important partner in education for the student to succeed. So Aserian is here and enjoy the presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good to see, so many familiar faces and new ones. There's some of them that are pretty new for me. For those that don't know me, my name is Aserian Leal. I work for Federation for Children with Special Needs. The Federation is an umbrella of many different programs. And within them, we have the MASFAC, the Mass Family Engagement Program. And within that, we have the School Finder Helpline. That's where I work. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but also before that, I'm going to talk about the important role of the parent throughout the educational journey of the student, of your children. Okay, so I'm going to be putting back and forth my glasses, but I hope that doesn't distract you. So, we as Federation, we are the PTI's statewide, parent training formation center for the state. We cover the whole state of Massachusetts. We're not a state agency, we're a nonprofit organization, and our services are free for parents, educators, and professionals working with the families. What we do, we provide information, resources, trainings. This is just one of them. There are many different ones. And I invite you to go into our website, which is listed right in the bottom, www.fcsn.org, and find out more about our organization and the work that we do. Sorry about that. We have training, which is to train parents and professionals a little more in depth of the special education process. It's more intensive. It's called VCTI, which if you have a child with special needs, or when I say special needs, connect with the physical disability, but it's not only the physical disability, it's also for specific learning disabilities. Sometimes children have difficulty learning, sometimes in reading, sometimes in writing, sometimes in math, sometimes it's behavioral. And what I want to say is that we help you with information, with all the issues that you might be going through, or try to support as much as you can your child. So we do have an annual conference coming up, which is March 8th. This side of the next one is a virtual conference that exists for 25 years. And there's over 40 presentations, and including in multiple language. So if you are interested tonight, because you're here and whoever is watching with us, you can either sign up on the blog that Monica is going to be passing on, or you can email the school finder at fcsn.org. It's one of the flyers that is connected with the slides that was provided. Oh, she's going to provide you. It's not in there, but you're going to come. So, let's see. Let's dive into today's session, which is called, I'm excited, to talk about family engagement and the critical role parents play in So the title of this section is Building Bridge, which is Parent as Partners in Education. As we begin, I want to acknowledge the challenge families often face in navigating an educational system today, especially it feels overwhelming. The system often feels complicated to understand, and there are many barriers that can get in the way. For some families, there are real fear of attending school or even interacting with the system, whether it's due to language barriers, concerns about their child's learning needs, or the confusion around education policies. On top of that, families who are dealing with housing instability face a constant uncertainty that makes it even harder to engage with the school system. And with the political climate today, there is a lot of mixed messaging, making it difficult to know what resources or rights are available. For English learners, especially those with disabilities, this complexity increases. But the system can often feel like it's not designed to meet the unique needs of these students. But I want to reassure you that you are not alone facing this challenge. Today we're here to talk about how we can navigate these barriers together and ensure that every child has access to support they need for success. So despite this challenge, your role as a parent is incredibly important. You have a right to advocate for your child's education, and today we will discuss how to navigate. Am I too fast? I'm trying to pace. Okay, thank you. Those barriers to ensure your child receives the support they need. Research shows that strong parent engagement leads to better students' outcomes, such as improved attendance, higher grades, and healthier behaviors in children and adolescents. So let's explore how we can build this bridge together. Schools can build positive relationship with the parents by addressing barriers to engagement, like scheduling conflicts, transportation, language needs, and ensuring a welcome environment, like this one today. Families should be aware of key legal protections that support students' rights and access to education. The schools cannot ask about your or your child's immigration status. Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, which is called FERPA, protects the student's record from being shared with immigration authorities. Equal Educational Opportunities Act ensure language support for students who are not fluent in English. IDEA, or Individuals with Disability Education Act, guarantees special education services for children with disabilities. Title VI of the Civil Rights Act prohibits discrimination based on race, color, national origin, gender, or sexuality. Parents and guardians have the right to request an interpreter for meetings and school communication. The school are designated a sensitive location, meaning immigration enforcement actions are generally not allowed inside schools. An ICE officer cannot access a student unless the parent gives consent or if they present a warrant signed by a judge. The school staff should consult legal counsel to evaluate any warrant and inform the student's parent or guardian if that happens. The schools cannot share a student's identifiable information with outside parties, including ICE agents, without parent consent or judicial warrant. The student's directory information is not protected under federal students' record privacy laws. Parents and guardians may opt out of sharing their child's directory information. If approached or detained, you have the right to remain silent and provide a red card from Mira. I know they were here last month, so if you need more cards, there's more to provide. If you question about your immigration status, keep emergency contact forms updated with the school so the school knows who to contact in case of emergency, including an emergency contact outside your household. Talk with your child about increased immigration enforcement and create a plan, including a caregiver if needed. So you're going to see on the slides that I provided a link which helps you to create that plan with your child. And there is another one that actually provides some keywords or a way to communicate with your child to prepare, to discuss the increased number of enforcement that actually we are facing at this time. The benefits of school-family partnership. We heard that research shows that when families are actively engaged in their child's education, the students tend to earn higher grades, have better attendance, and complete homework more consistently. In fact, parental involvement is one of the strongest predictors of student success, regardless of a family's socioeconomic background. Family engagement plays a significant role in a child's social-emotional development. The students with the strongest school-family connections often exhibit higher self-confidence, greater motivation, and more resilience. These students also tend to have fewer behavioral problems and better social skills, making them more successful in the classroom and beyond. Beyond academics and social-emotional growth, family engagement also directly influences the students' participation in school attendance. The students are more likely to participate in school activities and stay on track to graduate. Regular communication between schools and families reduces absenteeism and reinforces the students' sense of belonging, further supporting their academic and emotional development. I just want to check with the interpreters. Am I too fast? I'm trying to fix myself, I promise. Students are designated as sensitive locations. Oh, that was extra. The next one is a critical element of successful school-family partnership is the trust and relationship built between parents and educators. A school that actively works to create positive relationship with families fosters an environment where both educators and parents feel valued. This trust leads to a more supportive and productive learning environment for students. Engaging diverse families provides the schools with a better understanding of students' background, strengths, and needs. Culturally responsive family engagement promotes equity in education, and it ensures that all students have the resources and support they need to succeed. The school with a strong family partnership experience higher teacher satisfaction and lower burnout. Family involvement creates a positive school climate, improves collaboration within community, and leads to more effective educational relationship. When teachers feel supported through strong family-school relationships, they can dedicate more energy to student learning, fostering a positive and productive classroom environment. A strong partnership between families and school plays a crucial role in the student's success. You got that, right? As parents, you are your child's first teacher and best advocate. So we know that when parents and teachers collaborate, the students benefit academically, socially, and emotionally so far. Open communication creates important opportunity for teenagers to develop key skills that help them navigate adolescence. Research shows that students with engaged parents tend to have higher rates, attend school more regularly, and take higher level courses. This partnership also fosters motivation, reducing dropout rates, and increase the likelihood of post-secondary opportunities. Parents can be involved in various ways, attending events such as this one, staying in touch with the teachers, and guiding their child through homework and extracurricular activities. But family-school partnerships go beyond academics. When parents and teachers work together, the students develop confidence, self-awareness, decision-making skills. This relationship helps young people build resilience, preparing them to adapt and thrive in their communities. When parents engage in their child's education, they'll help create the foundation for lifelong success. By staying informed, involved, and proactive, every parent can contribute to a stronger education experience for their child. I know that not all schools have the same resource, which can be a barrier to family involvement. Demanding work schedules that limit parents' ability to attend school events, cultural or language barriers that make communication difficult, transportation issues that prevent families from engaging in person. Even when schools and parents face some challenges, involved parents play a crucial role in maximizing available support and opportunities for students. For example, instead of attending events in person, like today, you might start by attending virtually, like others that might be watching this. The other way is encouraging reading and help with the homework at home. And you might say, yeah, but I don't know the content, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Request translation and interpretation services ahead of time to be able to fully participate in your child's education. If you need help understanding forms or school documents, you have the right to request interpreters and translations. Contact the school or district office to access the services. Participate at the parents' groups in your district, such as PTA, the Parents Teachers Association, LPAC, English Learner Parent Advisory Council, or CPACs, the Special Education Parent Advisory Council. Stay connected by check the school website for updates, events, and resources. Cultural differences are real, right? Can you testify to that? I don't know. I have few stories of myself, so I'm trying to just keep myself on the script right here today. But I have quite a few stories. Does anyone want to share one? Okay. All right. So one thing that I would bring it up as an example, there was a part of our state, the word IEP, which is the Individualized Education Program for children with special needs or disabilities. The interpreters, they replaced the word IEP for paid. P-E-I. They reverse the order of the words because that's how it's written in Portuguese. And because of that, they never mentioned the word IEP. And multiple parents in that region didn't make the connection with the pay and the IEP, which is a legal document where the schools, they have to follow by state and federal law. And that brought a lot of confusion for that one family specifically, which the child migrated here and with clear intellectual disability, physical disability, multiple disabilities, I would say, which would trigger the evaluation process to start right off the bat. However, because of that, there were delays in services. So one of the reasons that I'm here today is actually to inform you of some of the things that you might not be aware of, and to tell you there's a place that you can check in different of your question or you need. So let's explore some key differences between the U.S. education system and other countries. One of the most important differences is parent involvement in the U.S. The school expects parents to be actively engaged in their child's education, attending parent-teacher conferences, helping with homework and supporting school events. Another key difference is how students are taught in the U.S. Here, education emphasizes developing critical thinking skills rather than focusing solely on memorization. This approach helps the students become independent thinkers and problem solvers, preparing them for rapidly changing world. When it comes to special education, inclusive education is not as widely available in many countries as it is in the U.S. Here, students with disability have a right to individualized education program, which I mentioned before, IEP, or a 504 plan, depending on their needs, to ensure they receive the support needed to succeed alongside their peers. Bilingual support is another difference. Many U.S. schools provide language services for students who speak a language other than English. However, the level of support varies by state and district. There are other educational options in our state that parents can explore too. With the family's prior consent, I'm going to share another example how the work that we do actually was helpful for this family specifically. I'd like to share an example that illustrates the situation which I might be able to assist you to. This student became very ill, and while she was still able to learn, the number of days missed from school due to doctor's appointments, medical procedures, recovery time, and physical barriers at the school caused her to fall behind academically. In this case, a virtual school option proved to be the best fit for her. We supported the family throughout this process, which I'm simplifying for you today. Now she is attending school, on track to graduate high school, and has even started making plans to attend college. You are your child's first teacher, and most important, advocate. Your culture, language, traditions enrich their education, your voice matters, and your presence in your child's educational journey is invaluable. You're not alone. The schools, communities, organizations, and educators are here to support you every step of the way. Okay. As a parent, it's essential to understand your rights regarding language services. The school and healthcare systems are required to provide interpretation services and translate documents if need signature, including the student handbook, 504 plan, and the IEP. but also in your daily communication with school, with the teacher. If you're not understanding what they are communicating, it's important to request. Your child has right to receive the support they need, regardless of their language, if they are English learners, living situation, or developmental challenge. The first law that I'm going to talk about is McKinney-Vento Act. Under the McKinney-Vento Act, even children who are unhoused or in unstable living situations are entitled to free public education. Another one is the child find provisions. Ensure that children with disabilities or developmental delays are identified and supported early. If your child was born with a disability, early intervention services here will likely be set up for you. However, if you notice any developmental delays between birth and age 3, you can speak with your child's pediatrician about your concerns, but also parents can also request services directly from early intervention. If you notice delays after your child turns 3 or any time during the child's education journey, whether you suspect of a disability or have a diagnosis from a doctor, you can request an evaluation. Do you want me to repeat?
Yeah, can you repeat that?
Okay.
So fast.
Sorry about that. See, that's why I'm trying to follow the notes here. So if you notice delays after you
Your
try.
notes are nice, but when you speak from the heart, they follow you better.
Okay.
I know you know.
Oh, okay, then, you know what?
From
Then,
your heart.
here we go, let me speak from my heart.
Yeah,
There we
they
go.
follow you better from your heart.
Awesome. So, if you notice, did you get the first part when I said about if the child was born here in the US?
Stop them there.
Okay, so if your child was born here in the US and you heard from the doctor that your child was born with a disability, it's very likely that you leave the hospital with the services already set up for what is called early intervention. If your child wasn't born here, but you came when the child was between the age 0-ish and 6 months or, before 2 years and 6 months, you can actually share with your pediatricians your concerns about the child's development. And if the doctor doesn't think the same way you do, you can actually call the place and ask for services independently for this period of time. However, when the child turns 3, one day before the child turns 3, the early intervention services end. So because of that, your child might need extra support between the age of 3 and 5 if they're going to start as kindergarten, or 6 if they're going to start as first graders. One point here important to mention is that the child has to have 5 years old by September 1st to be enrolled in kindergarten. And the same thing with the 6 for first grade. So if your child is a child that completes, their birthday is September 4th, usually it goes to the next year that they're going to start school. There is a law that actually the child has to be in school by 6 years old. So technically by 5 is a given. And there is information on the district's website when the opening for registration is going to happen. I just couldn't see that one. Okay, the special education programs. One of the things that for students that are English learners doesn't mean that they cognitively cannot understand what is being taught in the classroom. They might be advanced and they might have a chance to attend classes that are more advanced as well. So there are things that we can talk. I just want to invite, you guys to reach out to ask, questions. And special education is a whole process. So if your child was diagnosed with a disability back in your country and came here, there is something that to be shared with the school, and there is a process to start. If you want to learn more, we have other presentations, and again, you can just call and we can walk you through the process. If your child was diagnosed here by a doctor, and the child needs extra support than what is being offered by school, we also can talk with you and discuss about the services and the IEP, the program, to help you understand the process, but also advocate for your child. In light of increasing immigration enforcements, it's important to approach conversation with your child with care and sensitivity. So be honest and age appropriate about the situation while ensuring that your child feels safe and supported. One thing that you might want to do is actually have a conversation with your child about who could be a safe person if something happens with one of the parents or the parent. Another thing that we have here is links to the page that actually by age is divided. It's kind of funky, but you guys have on your PDF as well. For early childhood, between age 0 and 5, the elementary, which is the 6 years old to 9. Can you see that one? It's too small. It's too small. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, we're trying to fit to like 3 and 8. And the middle school from between the age 10 and 13, and the high school is 14 and up. So it's important for you to have open conversation with your child, but also be attentive to the age appropriate and talk about who could be that safe person to actually provide any kind of support if in case that happens and you need. Updating the emergency contact form from school, like I mentioned before. Bring someone else that is outside your household. It's another way to prevent some kind of challenge if you are detained. And make sure that the child is not going to be by themselves, right? So the other resource that you see on the right side is help your child learn to read. One of the stigmas that exist in myth is that because the child speaks another language, they cannot learn another one, or they are having trouble learning English because they speak another language. There is research that they already show that is not true, that actually helps the child develop not only one language, but multiple languages. So if your child is having trouble learning, if you were told that, contact us. That is very likely there is more to it. And also you can discuss that with your child's pediatrician to discuss further the concern that you have about their learning. So some ways that the parents can actually help their child during at home, because that's one of the things that parents ask, oh, I don't speak the language, I don't know exactly what they're learning, and how can I help? So we can help by reading together every day. It can be just a short story. You can ask your child to read aloud and create a reading routine, which can set time, just a regular time, can be a bedtime, can be just a silent moment that you have throughout the night, just to calm down before going to bed. And it's okay if your child reads in their own language. It strengthens their literacy skills. And they can transfer those skills to learning English. Or you both can learn English together. So you might identify some words that actually is helpful for both of you. So you can practice it together. So by fostering a reading-friendly environment, you're building a foundation for their future success in school and beyond. In here, we're going to talk a little bit more in other ways that the parents can actually help their child. So you can talk with your child about their day. Encourage your child to write every day. Of course, if they're little ones that they're not actually really develop the writing skills, you're going to help develop the fine motor skills by other activities. And again, if you need those, we can help you with that. You speak to your child in your home language. So you might want to try English, but if you want to keep your child bilingual, that's the way to go. Talk about the benefits of being bilingual with your child. Share special tradition and recipes from home. You're going to create an environment at home where your child not only going to carry the traditions and the history about your culture, but also is going to build their own as they grow and develop here in the U.S. So listen to your child read aloud and sign up for a free library card. I don't know how many of you here know about having a library card. Can you show me hands? Come on, yeah. Okay, Monica, you're the only one? Okay, I have three more, but it doesn't count. She's professional. No parents. So, one thing that I want to tell you is that the library, you can have the free card. They have multiple books, they have videos, they have CDs, they have multiple information for free. And if it happens that you borrow the book from Fall River, and something happened and you have to move to another city or town, you can actually return at the library in that city or town. You don't have to come all the way to Fall River. And you have access. Another thing is asking your child, bring your child to the library to actually choose the books, the topics that they want to read, develop that sense of having, them encouraged to actually read. It's empowerment for them. So the next one, we're going to talk about encouraging the writing and also offer a quiet space so they can do their homework. They can sit down and be able to produce the work that they have to provide at school. So writing doesn't have to feel like a chore. You can encourage your child to write about things they're passionate about. It could be a fun story, a letter to a friend, or even a daily journal. The more fun they have, the more confident they will become. You can try making share activities right together. Share stories and celebrate the activity. Expose your child to a variety of books and stories and articles can make very exciting part of the learning. Like I said, choose something that they have interest in already, so make the activity fun. Consider introducing digital books or audiobooks, especially if they have access to technology. The formats can be engaging, especially for reluctant readers. So if your child needs extra help in reading, that's one way that you can also help having the book and having the audiobook about the same story to play together so the child can actually learn. And spending time reading with your child, whether it's a bedtime or during a quiet moment, modeling reading behaviors that helps your child see the reading is important and enjoyable. Sometimes, what we perceive as behavior in teenagers especially can actually be a form of communication. I invite you to shift your perspective and look beyond the surface. It could be frustration, lack of confidence, or even a need for validation. When your teenager struggles, they are trying to tell you something. So they might simply need support or different way to express themselves. What might seem like defiance or resistance is often a deeper need for expression. So the ones that have teenagers, the next step, you notice behavior, take a moment, see things through a lens, and understand that your teen might just be struggling to communicate their needs. With your support, they can unlock their full potential as a writer. So teenagers often, resist the writing portion of homework. It's not unusual. So writing is essential skills that students are expected to master over time. When they start kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and third grade, when they got to the third grade, they are supposed to now generalize the skills that they learned before. But if they got to the third grade and they have a lot of struggles reading or being able to engage in classroom, they might need extra support, and extra supports are available. So again, as a parent and observing, being part of the education portion of your child helps you understand their needs, but also help them express to the teachers or express to, if you're having a meeting with the educators, your child's specific needs. Here is a portion how actually educators can support families. They can create a welcoming environment for semester where families feel respected, valued, and included. Make sure they know their contribution are appreciated and their voices are heard. That's the number one negative feedback that I have from parents, is that they are voicing, however, they feel that they're not being heard. So that's one of the things. Provide clear communication, translated materials, reliable interpretation services. This helps bridge the language needs, but also it ensures that important communication are understood by the parents. Respect cultural differences, so understand which family are coming from. So if there is a traumatic event that a family went through or a loss, you can communicate with the school, with the teacher, and so they will understand if your child is struggling for a period of time, and extra support might be available to support them. Encourage monthly parents to participate in their child's education and listen to their ideas, concerns, and feedback. Acabou o tempo? Yeah? Okay. So have bilingual staff trained by DESI. DESI is offering a training which is divided in 3 tiers. And what I would invite you, school district, to actually expose the professionals working at the district to be trained. There's different levels that they can be, and where it's important to bring it up. So what to do when my child, I already talked a little bit about diagnosed with disabilities, facing learning difficulties, behavioral challenges, mental health problems, and school refusal. You can start by communicating with the teacher, communicating with the school, to try to see if they can provide the resources available. This is one that I found on the website here from the Fall River Public Schools. If you, the student student or the families are in need, is just to get in contact with them. And Monica here is here to support if you need, right? And here I want to introduce to you I know that the flyers were distributed, and if you want to be part of the conference, there is more than just special needs or specific learning or specific disabilities. It's about interpretation, it's about health system. So it's important, like for the Portuguese, there's a session that you're going to be talking about mass health specifically. There's another one that is going to be talking about discipline and behaviors. So there's over 40 presentations, which I'm not going to list each one of them for you right now, but I just want to make you aware. And if you are interested in, you can just email schoolfinder@fcsn.org with your name, last name, then your phone number, and tell me that you are interested in, and I can register you and provide you more information how to move forward from there. So how we work, what we do, we help families with school enrollment and placement assistance, also support for English learners and multilingual families, special education and student support services, advocacy and family engagement, and address complex situations and social challenges, like some of the examples that I gave you before. Who we support? All families, different of their background, the language that they speak, abilities or difficulties. So we address students with and without disability. Here are some of the questions that we received. One of them is, how can I communicate with my district if I don't speak English? Which schools can my child apply to, and what are the deadlines? Here is specifically for high school. There is many options in terms of a high school placement, especially schools that are career and technical focused, and which they have a deadline where the application is open at this moment in multiple schools throughout the state. If your child is looking for something that is on that field, they can graduate high school with the diploma, and depending on the field, with the license to start working as they graduate high school. So together we can build an educational system where every child feels they belong and has the opportunity to succeed. Thank you, parents, school, for your commitment and involvement in your child's education. And we would love to hear from you. So at this point, I'd like to open the floor for any questions or comments you might have. Please feel free to share your thoughts and ask about anything discussed today. Your input is valuable to us. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Any specific questions? I don't bite. You have one. It's okay. Like you do. Is that a question? No? Okay, if there is no question, then I guess I'll hand it over to Monica. Thank you very much, everyone. And, all right. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming tonight for this amazing presentation. The resources will be at the table, and please feel free to enjoy some pizza and refreshment before you go home. Thank you so much for coming here tonight.